We're here today reporting live from Coronavirus Station 1, 300zx. Are you feeling sick today? He's already dead.
What's going on, guys? We're out here at Andrew's house. I told you guys we were going to start doing some mechanical work on the Z. I have a slight oil leak somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's coming from the exhaust side of the valve cover on the driver's side. But I haven't resealed it in like 3 or 4 years. So you know what? I said screw it. I got the kit from Z1, the complete like plenum pull kit with the gaskets and everything. So today we are going to be pulling this plenum off and cleaning all this crap up. Since I'm going to have it off, I got also the throttle body gaskets. I got a whole mess of crap. So this is going to be a fun little project for us. We've had some downtime since this whole coronavirus has hit. I was thinking, you know what? Might as well just freaking do it now. I can clean up my piping. Like by the end of this video, this is going to be looking super clean again. So that was the plan. So that's what we're going to go with. Let's freaking get this going. So if you guys are ever wondering, Z1 sells a complete kit. I literally just cracked this open. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I got here. Sells the complete kit of what you want. So here's our plenum gasket. It comes with the actually ultra gray and then all your plenum or your valve cover gaskets also. And then throttle body gaskets here also. So yeah, 2 comes in a pack. So basically just trying to reseal everything, making sure everything's kosher. This kit that I got right here with the throttle, basically this kit comes alone. I think it's like $30, this complete kit. And then I got these and I think it came up to like 40 bucks or like $42 shipped or whatever for all this stuff. So just so you guys having like a retrospect of what I'm spending on this project. So first things first, what I have to do is take off this strut bar here. And then from there, we're gonna move on to actually disconnecting all of our intake piping. Okay guys, so we got the intake piping off here. So off the intake piping, what we're gonna start doing is doing the throttle cable. And if you guys have your cruise control cable, also you'll start wanting taking that off. And then going off from there, what we'll start doing is going around and start taking out the actual coil packs and unplugging the spark plugs all around. So basically what you're gonna have to do to that to get to these back ones is you're gonna have to take your balance tube off. And then as you're going through there, you just wanna check your fuel lines. You're gonna wanna take these off. And then also whatever connectors that you have in the back here, you're gonna start taking off. So step by step, we're gonna do these lines first, and then we're gonna start doing the spark plugs and the balance tube. All right guys, so now after you get all of your coil packs off, obviously we didn't get these ones out yet, but Andrew unplugged the injector wiring and the coil pack wiring. So we basically took it off, put it up on the windshield, and then you're gonna have to start working on the fuel line here. So what we did is we have to loosen it up by these bolts here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then coming down 4, and then 5. And what you do is loosen that up, so then you can, you're actually able to get this last coil pack plug out from under here, because basically this is like super tight to the plenum. So then you're able to get that out. It's good. Everything is off the coil packs. And then to be safe, there will be fuel coming out of here when you disconnect these, because you need to disconnect these so we can get the plenum off the car. Just make sure you get like an empty bottle, so you could just make sure that the fuel, when you're pulling it off, it's like it's gonna be escaping into that instead of like all over the place. And then just be careful when this is pressurized. So like when you do pull this off, you might just be careful of your eyes, your mouth, and all that jazz. So let's start pulling those off. So now what we're gonna do now, since we got everything disconnected off these fuel lines here, you actually have to get into here where this FPR is. And there's 2 flathead screws. Typically what I like to do is unscrew the bottom one that's down in here. It's right there. When we can get a screwdriver in there. Basically you want to do that because what you'll be able to do is pull this fuel pressure regulator off. So like you'll actually be able to pull it up instead of doing the top one, because it's super hard to get the top one because it's like falling under there. So, but yeah, so we're gonna do that one, and then you have to do one more on this side over here. I'll show you. And then there's one that's connected right here. So this one, all you'll have to do is unscrew that one. This one's really easy to get to, then you'll just pull it off the line that way. Okay, so now we got all the fuel line off. So this is what it looks like. Get all that off. So now the next step here is what we're gonna do is take out the rest of these coil packs on the passenger side, and then we're gonna start undoing all the grounds that are on top of the plenum. Whatever's connected to the plenum here. We're gonna start undoing all of that. Okay guys, so then what you wanna do now, after we got all the coil packs off, what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna unplug our TPS here. So all you have to do is get like a little screwdriver, unclip this, and then unclip this too. So after the TPS is unplugged on both plugs here, what we're gonna do here is work on this hose here, because we gotta obviously disconnect it from the plenum. So all you gotta do is just take this clip off, slip this line off, that goes to the brake booster. You're just gonna slip it off back. After we got this hose off, all you have to do is take it off and rotate it up, and now we're just taking the grounds off. So there's a ground from the harness here, and then a ground to the harness from right there. While Andrew's going after this, so now he's taking the lines off the actual valve covers here for the ventilation. So he's unscrewing that, and that hose is basically just gonna slide right off outward, and then on the driver's side, same thing, this one, and it's just gonna slide on outward down. So now with this plenum, I've already done the EGR delete, so I can save myself crazy amount of time. And I've also did the coolant line under the plenum delete also. I did that years ago. It was before I had a YouTube. I wish I did it because I did it so thorough that like I made sure that everything was gonna be clean under there. But if you guys have an EGR, your EGR is gonna run right here. So practically where this line runs down under it, this is where your EGR would come up. There's two 10mm bolts. When I pull the plenum off, I'll actually show you guys where it is. But right here, there's two 10mm bolts right where my finger is on the end, and then one inside under there. It is a complete piece of crap trying to get these off. You guys don't even understand. It took me so long when I first started working on this car just to get the EGR like piping off, because not only does it just bolt up there, there's kind of like a male part that goes into a female part, so you actually have to like pull the EGR down and be able to bend it, and like without doing any deletes beforehand, it's so hard to get in there. But that's gonna be I promise you, that's gonna be the toughest part, is trying to get those off. But once you get those off, all you'll have to do after that, and you make sure that the hoses are off, and this is why I'm doing this, because I broke this valve cover. So it is what it is, but that's why I'm actually doing this, because I knew that I messed up this valve cover a while ago. But yeah, so after all this, you get all those lines off, you have everything disconnected. Make sure you double check, triple check that you have every wire disconnected, because if you try to pull this up and you like mess up a ground or something, it's gonna be terrible. But after all said and done, all you're gonna have to do is do the plenum bolts now. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're just gonna work on all those. And then when you guys, make sure when you guys are pulling these plenum bolts, we keep them in order, because all of them are specific lengths for specific reasons. Alrighty guys, so we got everything done. We actually took this hose off also, just so you guys know, because we had the wiring harness running between these. So this hose runs to the IAC. So basically we just took this whole hose off. So now we can see that the plenum moves freely. So now all Andrew's gonna do is pull it up. I'll try to help him if he needs help. But yeah, it comes right up. And then we got one plug left. It's easier to be able to pull the plenum up and pull it forward, because this, especially if you guys haven't done any deletes, this plug here is a complete bitch to get. So all right, we're gonna work on that right now. So here's the plenum. There she is. Flip her over. So now if you guys are gonna be doing your deletes and such, your deletes, these are coolant lines. Coolant lines are running through all of this, like all under here. It's insane. So you have two coolant lines here running from there to there, and then also two on this side, there and there, and then they've run all along. So you can literally just delete those, which is sick. And then as you guys see, the PCV delete, that's what we have here. And that's why we're running that catch can now. And then this is your EGR. This is an EGR delete that you can get from Z1 also. So there and there, these are those two 10mm bolts that freaking suck to get. So yeah, we're gonna put that down, and then we're gonna start looking at the motor and see what we find. Now you can see where our valve covers are. So our intake valve cover here, our exhaust valve cover here. As you can see, I'm pretty sure this is just from the fuel that we just like took out from the fuel lines. That's why it's like this. But I do have some buildup back here, so which is good to see. Well, not good to see, but and then a lot of debris in there. So a couple of things that you guys want to make sure is the first thing before we start moving anything is we're gonna start stuffing some paper towels in actually the upper intake here, because we don't want anything to get in there. So that's the first thing we're gonna do after we inspect it. We're gonna inspect it with like a flashlight, just check in there and see what we're looking at. But going off of that, we're gonna do that first, and then we're gonna unplug these lines. These wires here are typically gonna be running in front here, and they're gonna bolt into here and here. I hid these behind them, like more for like a cleaner look. So they won't look like this, but this is another thing that what you guys can do is extend the wires to make them look cleaner off of the harness. So this is this whole line. I ran it through here, back here, into the harness. So it's kind of hidden, and all you see was like when the Plenum's on there, that's all you see is like that. So little trick for you guys. But we're gonna take those off, check out those, and then I'll plug them up. Alrighty guys, so as you guys can see, I put all the paper towels in here, just like this. And then basically what you're gonna wanna do is after we take all this crap off, we start looking at everything, no matter what, you wanna make sure that this is gonna be clean with a razor blade. You wanna make sure that you're not digging too deep into it, because it is aluminum, so it will cause like ridges and stuff, and that won't be, basically it won't seal correctly. So with this, you just wanna clean it off with a razor blade, get all that old gasket off, try to get all that old nasty stuff out of there, and then I would clean it with brake clean and wipe it all down to make sure that it's like clean as possible. So for this, it would be as clean as possible for the lower plenum, and then for the upper plenum, make sure on this back side also the same thing. So this whole side here, make sure that this is all super clean. And so now what we're gonna do is we are going to start taking off spark plug like canisters here. So basically what you do is it's just these 4 bolts, and then you can pull this whole thing off. It's plastic, so be careful, it might be brittle because like I said, it is a 30-year-old car basically. So we're gonna start pulling this off, and then we'll start working with the valve cover for the intake, and then the valve cover for the exhaust. So this is what this piece looks like. As you can see, that just fell. This is what this piece looks like when you pull it off. So you're gonna basically pull it off like this, straight up, and this is how it comes out. As you can see, that plastic piece fell off, and as you can see on these other ones, they're shot. You can get these from Z1 or whatever. This is basically just so it's like more of a seal for the spark plug, so you're not getting any condensation or any water in there. This car doesn't really see a lot of rain, so I mean, I'm not really worried about it. What I might do is just like RTV that one back on. But like I said, I know now that I have to order these washers here for the intake valve cover. These are all shot, these rubber pieces here. As you can see, they're all split and shot. I know they make solid ones, so I might just order solid ones. It might take like a day or two to get in, but I'm gonna see exactly how we're looking for these, and I'm gonna do a bit of research to see if I can get the solid ones or not, because if the solid ones means you'll never have to replace those again. So I didn't know if those were gonna be shot or not, and they completely are. So that sucks, but it is what it is. But I'm glad that we're doing this now instead of mid-season, and you know what I mean? Like, that would blow.
Don't waste your seat time, kids.
Don't waste the seat time. As much seat time as you can get, you get. So do it pre-season, not during season. So
first day of the season like us.
yeah, right. So then, and then also too, you guys, like when you're looking, as you can see, look at all this plastic here. This you don't want getting into your valves. So we're going through. We're gonna clean all this crap out. Like I said, I mean, we're having a good day. It's a good day. So let's check Andrew's side out. Yeah, see, so there's not that much debris over there. That's a good thing. So, word. So like I said, we're gonna start working on our valve covers next. Okay guys, so now you can see I sealed everything up pretty well, which is a plus. I actually do think I see where I was leaking some oil right on this corner here.
Seeping through.
Yeah, there you can see it.
Oh yeah, look at.
See it? So, I'm sorry guys, right here. I think that's where I was seeping oil through. And then like this line back here was caked in like debris, and it feels like oil too. So yeah, so I mean, it's a good thing that we did it, like I said, but I definitely think it was seeping out down around this edge here. And it's tough because this edge is the hardest part is to get it back onto the actual motor because of like the wiring harness and everything. So this next time around, I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna have this on correctly, because I mean, it lasted a long time, but you could definitely see it was seeping all right here. So now basically what you got to do is, it's gonna suck, but you got to clean out all this old RTV out of the edges here and ridges, and we got to re-RTV it and everything. So it's gonna look, this is the most time consuming part, is the cleaning part. So we're gonna start doing that and hang out, and as you guys can see, since I got this off real quick, we're checking everything out. Everything looks pretty. I'm pumped. We got to check both sides. Yeah. All right, guys. So we have cleaned up the valve covers, as you can see. So this is the exhaust side. That's what typically has all the RTV, all those little pieces in there. We don't want those in there. So what I'll do is later tonight, when I bring these home, I'm gonna brake clean them, make sure everything's super clean on there. And then this one we're gonna go pick up from Robbie. He's got an extra one for me, so that's pretty sick. And then Andrew got the other ones done. And now we're in the process of scraping all of this off of the actual block now. So Andrew cleaned up this side really well. So this side's pretty much good, and then what we're gonna do is take a shop vac. So what I want to do is just run the shop vac once. So I'm gonna clean up this side really quick, but all we're gonna do is just whatever debris kind of went down in there, we're just gonna shop vac it out. That's what I did last time. It worked perfect, so we're gonna do that. And yeah, so as you can see, all this, I'm gonna clean all this up right now. Alrighty guys, so day 2 of this whole entire project. So we got everything off of the motor that you guys saw. I got my parts in from Z1 that we're actually gonna use those metal washers, so I'll actually show you guys those in a little bit. What we're gonna do now is work on our valve covers. So as you can see, I sprayed these a pretty long time ago. I think it was like almost like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe even more. They actually held up really, really well. But I kind of want to mix up some stuff. I want to do a little bit something different since I got them all off. So basically we're just going to keep this part black, but I also have some metallic red. So it's actually going to match with the red chrome pretty well for the tops of the valve covers. I got my eBay intake piping here. As you can see, over the years of me like taking it out, putting them back in and stuff, they got kind of thrashed. So I'm just going to clean these up a little bit and just spray them black again, and they'll be nice and clean for those. And then we have all this stuff. So here's our other side of our exhaust valve covers here. So like I said, I can honestly probably just respray these real quick, and it won't even be that bad for these ones, so that's pretty sweet. But I still need to kind of, like I said, clean up all this. I have brake cleaner, so we're going to clean up everything. But as of right now, we're going to, like I said, start cleaning these guys up pretty well. So what we're going to use to clean all these guys up is a sandblaster. So real simple. I think these are like $50 or something like that. We got this at Sears like forever ago. It's pretty simple. You just put some sand, like you go to Home Depot, buy a box of, or a bag of sand. The sand that you want to go with is fine sand. Just the fact that if you have like more coarse sand, it can actually like put indents in the aluminum. So you want to make sure it's as fine as possible. And then you just pour the sand in here. All sand isn't going to be perfectly fine, so there's going to be like bigger chunks, but that's what this grate is here for. But basically what it is when we take that off, all the sand just gets poured into here, and then basically just comes out through this valve, through the hose. It comes with this gun. All you do is connect this hose to the gun, and then an air compressor to the back of the gun, and it's a sandblaster. And as you can hear, sand is hitting those leaves all the way over there. So proper safety precautions is have a respirator. The issue is that dust particles can actually like mess up your respiratory system, especially with this whole COVID-19 thing. You don't want that to happen. So get a good respirator. Make sure any piece of skin that you can get is going to be covered. So like your neck, your eyes, your mouth, your face, your hands, you want to make sure that you have the proper gear. So that's why I'm wearing like a winter hat. I have a bunch of hoodies on. I'm going to have this over my face, and then I also have goggles for safety here, just so you don't want to mess up the money maker, you know what I mean? But I'm just kidding. But yeah, so let's get into it, and let's start sandblasting some valve covers. So I was able to get the top 3 done, and now I'm working on the exhaust side. So the exhaust side's going pretty well. All right, guys, so everything is sandblasted. So all the valve covers, the plenum, and then I did a little secret with the coil packs is you do the tops, because people can actually see these. So these are gonna be like an accent for the motor. So, and then did all the coil packs. So basically now what you gotta do is, because you sandblasted them, there's gonna be sand everywhere. So the best way to do it is, what I've done is like soap and water, and then after the soap and water, brake clean. And you just soak everything in brake clean, let everything dry. I do it probably like 2 or 3 times. Like I'll do like soap and water, brake clean, soap and water, brake clean, and then I'll just rinse it with water right at the end, and then good to go. Basically what I did, instead of washing them with soap and water, I actually got a couple of tubs and I put some Simple Green in them, which is just water and Simple Green, and let them sit overnight. So it's been about like 8 hours that I let them sit, and they are sand free. I literally just let them sit in those tubs for like 8 hours, and then I just rinsed them right now just with like hot water, and there's no sand anywhere, and I just dried them off and they look great. So I'm just gonna rinse the plenum off now, and after rinsing the plenum off, basically like I'll brake clean them again. After the brake clean, I'm just gonna primer them and then paint them. So I'll show you what primer and what paint to use for these like components, but let's rinse this off. Alrighty guys, so after soaking everything, after wiping everything down, basically what I did is I brought it outside because we're preparing for paint. So what you want to do is anything with any like nipples laying around or ports or anything like that, you just basically want to cover up all those holes, because you want any of the paint getting inside the ports. So I did all that on that one. This one's got like a hose on it already, so I'm not really worried about it. So that's good. The oil feed, tape that off, and basically you're good to go. So I wiped everything down, like I said, taped everything off, and then right after that I sprayed everything with brake clean, so everything is super clean. So now we're just going to get into the paint. Since we're going with the red chrome theme this year, I got this metal cast, Duplicolor metal cast red. Basically what you want to do before you spray this down is you want to get the metal cast actually like ground coat, so it's basically like a primer. So you're going to spray this first down, and then what we're going to do is color it after we spray it, like basically primer it down. So we're going to hit it with this now. So this stuff comes out really flaky. It's crazy. So this ground coat is like, it comes out very metallic. It actually looks pretty sweet just by itself. It's so hard. I wish I could get like all that is flake. It's pretty wild, guys. So I'm super stoked to start with the red. Oh my god, it's gonna look freaking good. Also gonna do the same thing for the tops of our coil packs. The reason being is because on the tops of the coil packs, when they're sticking out, these actually bolt onto the plenum. So when these bolt onto the plenum, you actually see this bracket here. So all I'm going to do here is just basically tape this off on each of the coil packs, and then we're just going to do the same thing with the metal cast. So we're going to do the ground coat first, and then we'll start spraying the actual red chrome. Basically what I just did now is I did a second coat. So I did a full second coat, pretty heavy towards the end, and it came out really good. So as I had it in the sun, you can actually see, like, basically I would say like the zebra stripes, or like that, those like spray painting stripes, but it would be like a different color. So like these, like you could tell where you really had it on good, and it would be like nice and flush and like this like flaky silver look, and then you could see that in some spots would be darker. So that's why I just went around the whole entire thing again and hit them all up. Guys, I just laid down the metal cast, and it looks absolutely insane. Look at that. So that's what the valve covers are going to look like. It looks insane. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys that. But yeah, so I got all 6 of those done. With this stuff, you do not need a lot at all. You don't need a lot. Like I think I've did 3 little sprays, like bang, bang, bang on each of these, and that's it. I bought 2 cans of this because I thought I was gonna need more. It comes out so thick and heavy and runny. It might sketch you out in the beginning, but if you just literally, you just go flat just like that, and it'll like, it looks like it's gonna run, and then it dries. It's insane how it works, but it looks so good, you guys. So got all those 6 done. Just finished primering that, so that's got 2 full coats on the top and bottom, and those are ready to go. So we're gonna pack everything up after it dries, and we're gonna head to Andrews, and we're gonna paint that black, and then those the chrome red. So let's get this all packed up. Alrighty guys, so got everything packed up, brought it back to Andrew's house. So basically we made the canopy now, aka garage, into now an aka spray booth. So being outside with the wind and everything gets pretty hectic sometimes, so we really want to make sure that these are going to coming out looking great, even though I did pretty well with them being outside spraying the base coat down. But using this metal cast crap now, basically we just want to make sure that it's going to lay on smoothly, because this stuff is very finicky, as I've witnessed doing the coil packs. So we got that. Andrew's hooking up the intake pipes. We're just going to spray those black again. And yeah, so this is what we're getting into. I'm pretty pumped about it. Pumped to be around this dude again. We're going to get some good footage. But as always, you guys want to make sure you're safe, especially in an enclosed area. Make sure you have your respirators on, eyewear, and I mean, make sure there's no exposed skin, especially dealing with paint. So I'm sorry, 2020 is a new year resolution for me, that I'm not trying to have any respiratory issues, especially with coronavirus going on. So I need to start practicing safe habits. So this is for you guys. Gloves, respirator, still no eyewear, but we'll figure it out. He's got eyewear, but yeah, he's hanging those up. We got all this. Yeah. All right, guys, so Andrew sprayed the plenum, so let's go check that bad boy out. So we did the intake piping. Looks phenomenal. And then we also did the plenum. Woo! She looks so clean. Oh my God, I can't wait. Plenum's done, and I just put another second coat on the coil packs, which those also look absolutely amazing. So now, the fun part is dealing with this red metal cast on actually big ass pieces. So we have each valve cover, so the 2 exhaust and the 2 intakes get valve covers, and then we also have the balance tube that I totally forgot about, so I didn't sandblast it, and I actually just started spraying this ground coat on it, and it actually started to just cover the paint, which pretty well. So it is what it is. It's a drift car, so I know we're making it look pretty, but whatever. But let's get into this. This is the crazy thing. This is the crazy part. So here we go.
Okay guys, so after the first coat, I wish you guys could actually see this in person. It looks a freaking amazing. It looks so freaking good. So we're just letting it sit out in the sun. We're probably gonna do another coat or two on these. And then again, the plenum looks freaking amazing. Intake piping, coil packs. So we're killing it. I can't wait to put all this on. So I wanted to show you guys is this. So I got this from Z1. It was about like $30 shipped. And this is our new fastener kit for our valve covers. So these replace the O-rings that go on your valve covers. So let me see if I can, found it right here. So these old guys. So the OEM ones are rubber and they come with like a washer on top of them. And then as you put them down, you fasten the valve covers onto the actual motor with these. So they line up on all these holes. So that one, all of them. So on each valve cover, they have these. These, swap these out. Because the fact that if you do use one of these, the issue is that over time, due to heat and whatnot, I'm trying to have my camera focus for you guys. You can see that it cracks. So it could be over pressure, like for tightening. It could just be, like I said, old and heat. I had these on the Z, I think for like 5 or 6 years when I first put them on, and then I've also been drifting on them. So they're old, they're shot. But again, these alleviate this problem. So now these are solid and I won't have to worry about this ever again. And they come with new hardware. So thanks Z-Spec, thanks Z1 again for all the good stuff. Can't wait to put these on after these bad boys dry. And Andrew's out here wiping down the good old S13.
Spray paint it white.
Spray paint it white. Oh no, what are you doing, you crazy son of a bitch? Got you. Nah. That's how we clean our cars now. We clean our cars with
glass cleaner.
Glass cleaner, yep. Foaming glass cleaner. That's how we clean our cars now. Keep them nice and bright and shiny.
No power washing.
Yeah. Dude, I haven't been able to get my car out with you, like, in a actual, like, clear day like this.
Well, let's put it together and get it out.
We can't, dude. She's apart right now. Look at this. She apart. All right, guys. So, got all this done. We're taking off the tape right now, off of everything, and we're good to go. So I basically just put 2 coats on here, on these. I think we should be good. So, yeah. All right, so the goal is now to, I think we got everything all set to go. So I think we just gotta put it on the car now. Oh no, this is one thing I gotta do again too. I gotta clean that bad boy out. I still haven't cleaned this out from the sandblasting, so this will be a couple seconds though, no problem. Alrighty guys, so what we got going on now is we're gonna start working on the motor. So first step, what we're gonna be doing now is sealing our valve covers with our RTV. So our RTV is over here. So this is the kit, part of the kit that Z1 gives us. So we have our RTV here. So what you're gonna wanna do is start working on the actual exhaust valve covers. So these ones and these ones, not these ones with these 2 long ports. It's gonna be those 2. So just the fact that it's gonna be a lot easier later on when we have to actually bolt them up to everything. So you're just gonna go around and just wipe like basically all the edges down again really quick. You're gonna wipe them down, make sure they're super clean so there's no debris in there. So we know that we're gonna have a good clean seal on these. So let's get into it. Looks freaking dope. We have the Z1 kit on it. A little hearsay for the Z1 kit. So, or the Z-Spec kit, I would say. So right here with the hardware, it actually tells you on it. So as long as you guys read directions, you'll be all right. But what you're gonna need is some blue Loctite. And then when you are putting these on, so if you see Andrew's little doohickey job here, just like that. So we have our Z-Spec retainer clip washer here,
and then we have our bolt here, puts it like that. So we're gonna have like the nipple side up. Yep, so it slips right in there, and you have the blue Loctite right on the bottom there. And then what you do is when we put these in, you're gonna put them in on the valve cover. So you like basically you just start to screw them in a little by little each, as long and until you get all of them in at once. Then once you have them all in, then you start tightening down. When you tighten down, think of it like a wheel. You don't want to go in just in a circle like this. You want to go like on a diagonal and then go down and then on a diagonal. And yeah, and then you do that basically until they're pretty tight. All I used was this. They tell you on the actual kit, do not torque them down. So right at the bottom here, you must snug them. Do not torque. So, I mean, I got them on pretty tight. Once we get everything on, I'll probably go around and check them, double check them one more time each. But yeah, so I mean, that's the passenger side exhaust one. And then we're going to do the passenger side intake one, and then we'll move our way that way. So get into it, boat. Okay, guys, another little step that I want to tell you guys. So for the exhaust side of the valve covers, as in that one there and the one that's going to be on the other side, so the lower end valve covers, you need to RTV the whole entire thing. With this one, it actually comes with a gasket kit. So you just put the gasket in, and then what you want to do is right by the knock sensors, you want to put a little bit of RTV on there, and then basically where any of the corners would be if the corners are touching. So like right there and right there also. So just a little bit, nothing crazy, just a couple dabs. It just helps with the seal if these aren't actually able to work correctly. So that's that. So we're just going to throw that bad boy down like this now and get this top one done. So this is what you guys want to do. So basically what he's doing, he's filling in all those like creases under the valve cover. So
it almost looks like that.
It almost looks like this, but it's just not as deep and not as wide.
This will get the rubber.
But you don't want to put too much in, because if you do put too much, when you actually put it against the block, what it's going to do is it's going to dissipate all this either in or out. So you just want to do just enough to fill these crevices, and then after you're done with that, like I said, all we're going to do is just freaking throw it right on there. See ya! So this one's going to be a problem. It's a problem for everyone, anybody on the forums or whatever. It's just because you have to be able to get this line on the back of the valve cover connected to this hose while you have all of your RTV on there too, so you're not getting it all over the place. And this harness is what makes it the issue. So I'm going to be helping Andrew. Basically, I'm going to be trying to hold this back while we're trying to slip the hose onto the valve cover, and while we're pressing it down. So this one's going to be a problem. It usually is. Got the little workshop here. Thanks to
Big Country Labs.
Big Country Labs, yeah, for the
Executioner end plates.
Yeah, Executioner end plates from Big Country Labs, and our new work desk.
Our new serving platter.
Yeah. Did you order some gold? Gold!
Is made of gold. Look, everybody, my Vicky was a key.
Okay, guys, so Andrew's going to show you where we're going to put those dabs up. So just a little dab. Nothing crazy. Right there.
Same thing other side.
Yeah, same thing on the other side. Right there. And then out in the back near the knock sensor. Right there. And then this one you're not going to be able to see, but it's just on the other side of that half moon shape. And then on that half moon shape, you're going to see a little line. And you're just going to kind of, it's literally just like the littlest bit. It's just to help with the seal. That's good. And then he'll just wipe up that excess because we don't want anything on that. So literally you can just wipe your finger like most of all that off. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So it's just in the groove.
Yep, just in the groove.
Ta-da!
Yep. And then we're gonna go to the valve cover itself, and so as the intake valve covers, like I said before, they come with the seal, so we're just gonna show you how to put the actual seal in. It's very simple, very easy. It only can go in one way.
If you use your corners to start, it'll help guide you.
Yep.
And it pretty much goes in itself.
Yep. And then you just want to make sure that you give it enough pressure so you know it's fully seated. And then this is the easier side because it's one, up top, it's easier to access, and two, it's got this seal so you don't have to put so much RTV in there, and you can just plop it right on.
Probably just sitting on there.
Boom. Right into place. Everything's good. Everything's nice and tight. And then, again, we just put our Loctite on our fasteners and bolt them up. Alrighty, guys, all the valve covers are on, bolted up, and then we have our spark plug tubes here, all bolted in, ready to go. So it looks freaking dope. But we're not done. So now to the plenum. So I put everything back in order. This is all bolted up, ready to go. TPS bolted up, ready to go. Everything is ready to go. So got my O-rings for my balance tube. Do not use RTV, guys. Go to Harbor Freight and get a freaking O-ring kit. I have one. I can't find mine, but we found my ones that I had before. So get O-rings. Don't RTV these because you will hate your life. I promise you that. It sucks. I've had to clean up a plenum for someone that RTV'd it. It's terrible. But we're gonna go ahead, bolt this thing up. So now we have our gasket that is given to us from Z1 for our kits. Just like this. This only fits on one way. You cannot fit it on any other way. It only fits on one way. But I'm gonna show you the way. All right, guys. So we have our gasket here. Whoops. As you guys can see, there's holes that are far apart and there's holes close together. So if we look at the plenum, there's holes far apart, there's holes close together. So now if we try to lay this down with the black side up, this is just for all of you guys that try. If you try to lay it down, the holes don't line up. So what does this mean? We're gonna flip the gasket over and it matches perfectly. All right, so that goes on first, and now we get to the plenum and we throw the plenum on. Well, now we just gotta hope that the gasket is lined up because that's the hardest part. If it moves a little bit, you can't get the bolts in. So here, I'll lift it, and if you wanna,
I just gotta push. Okay, straight down.
So it's always nice to have two sets of hands. But if you, while you're looking down, so typically this happens when you move the plenum, when you're putting it back on, that gasket will move, it'll shift a little bit. So as long as you have a screwdriver that you're gonna be able to fit through the holes, down through each hole to see if it'll go straight through, then you should be able to be fine to thread in your bolts. So that's what Andrew just checked. Matt checks out. We're gonna bolt this turd down. Alrighty guys, she's done. Everything's put back together. So basically once you get the plenum on fully, all you're gonna do is just reverse the steps from the beginning. So you just follow all the wires that you need to connect, your fuel injector plugs, your coil pack plugs, put the coil packs in, bolt them down, balance beam, your fuel lines, your grounds, yeah, in the back.
Don't forget those.
Practically everything that you're gonna do is just like reverse order again, and it'll be fine. So, and then another thing that we're gonna do real quick, Andrew's gonna wipe down the harness bar, but no, it looks super clean, guys. Like it looks very, very good. So I'm super pumped with the outcome. I definitely have to do the timing covers and then those inlet pipes, water inlet and outlet pipes, and probably like the CAS too, but that's for whenever I feel like doing it. Before you try to start your car, make sure you prime your fuel pump and your fuel filter. So if you basically all you're gonna do is turn the car to accessory and then turn it off, turn it on to the accessory, turn it off. Just do it a couple times just so the fuel pump gets primed, and then you should be good to go. So that's it. So I promised you guys that we would be putting out more mechanical work actually on the Z, and here you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We have a drift event coming up on April 14th at Ging Motorsports, so that's gonna be the first event where everybody's gonna actually see all the, like, this car actually running and ready to go. So that's basically it, guys, for this one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It's been a long one. It's been a good one. And like I said, just take your time. And if you guys have any questions, hit us up in the comments. With that being said, hit this button right here. Hit that freaking button. Subscribe to our channel. And if you guys are looking for any footage, check one of these videos out right here. In the meantime, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.